excited? Oh, yeah. Hey guys, Marmalade here. What is up, everybody? It is September 9th. I got to Idaho on August 30th. And I am finally back on the road again. I had a wonderful time for my first trip in Idaho. I want to give huge shout outs, huge, to the people, my friends, Sally and Doug, who I stayed with for the first 5 days or so. And got to stay on the lake and everything. This was a blast, and they just treated me like a king. And just, if you guys see this, I really appreciate everything you did. I thank you them, but it's hard to thank somebody enough for what they do for you like that. Secondly, I just left my good friends Brad and Caroline. Thank you guys so much. Had a blast there too. I stayed there 4 or 5 days, and Brad and I went backpacking, and you may have seen that video. And just catered to me and cooked me great food, and just had a blast. And purposely didn't do a lot because I'm on vacation, and I tend to push myself too hard, like I did this summer, trying to do too much backpacking, or what I thought would be I could do, but it turned out to be a little bit too much for me. So what I want to tell you is the big epic road trip of 2024 continues, and I got some good news. I really didn't know my plan after this. I purposely left it open because I didn't know how I'd feel or whatever. But what is the plan now? And I'm giving Sally the credit for this, because I really was thinking about going back to see my buddy Dave in Bremerton, staying with him a day or two, and then heading down the coast. I thought driving to San Diego from Bremerton, Washington, which is near Seattle, all the way down the coast would be a really long, epic, beautiful road trip. But he came up that. He did a road trip himself recently, and there's a lot of construction, and in the Big Sur area, the road's closed. You have to go way around it, and it's just going to be a whole thing. And Sally had a great idea. So what I'm doing now is, and I'm bringing you along, is I'm heading from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, east on the 90. It says I had like 350 something miles east. The plan is it's going to be semi-structured, semi-not, but I've planned out everything. For the most part, so this is my first trip to Idaho. I'm going to Bozeman, Montana today, to a grocery store, get some groceries, start heading south towards Yellowstone, but about a half hour out of Bozeman, I'm going to camp. I have an actually paid for campsite. So that's probably one of the only ones I'm going to pay for, just because there's so much BLM land and dispersed camping in the West. So I'm going to do that tonight, have some firewood, and maybe roast some hot dogs, whatever. But I'm going to do about 6 hours of driving today. I do lose an hour, so instead of 12 something, I did leave at 7:25 a.m. this morning. But I'm going to get there just a little after noon my time, but we're going to lose an hour or so. But it'll be my first time in Montana too, so I'm excited about that. Then when I go south, like I said, I'm going to camp about a half hour or so out of Bozeman, Montana. Then I'm going to drive a few hours down to Yellowstone. I'm heading south anyway, which I'll tell you about. But I thought I'd do my best. It's a little bit out of the way, but I really like to stop by at least Old Faithful and see Yellowstone and get a pin. I like to get a pin for every national park I've been in. So I'll go check that out, and then continue south all the way to Provo, Utah. Should get there middle afternoon. I found some really good dispersed camping outside of Provo in the mountains. And the reason I'm going down there is I want to hit some national parks in Utah. So the very next day, the third day, I'm going to go into Bryce. I changed my mind. Bryce Canyon National Park. And I found dispersed camping just outside of that park too. So I'm going to go in and do some hikes, do a lot of videography, and just show you the national park. It's my first time there. I'm hoping it's not very touristy. It's going to be middle of September. Kids are back at school. It's going to be midweek, so I'm hoping it's not too crazy. Try to do some hikes and photography and videography and that kind of stuff. So I'll do a couple days of that. Then I'm going to go a little more south to Zion National Park, and found some others dispersed camping there. And I would love to hike the Narrows there and do some other stuff, and just see the place, whatever I can do for 1 or 2 days. After a couple days, I have never been at 62. I just turned 62. I've never been to the Grand Canyon. One of my goals a couple years ago was to do Death Valley and the Grand Canyon, because they're pretty close to Southern California. And I've been to Death Valley twice, but not the Grand Canyon. So we're going to go check out the Grand Canyon. Also found some dispersed camping nearby. So I've been researching. I don't know these parks by heart, so I'm going to go and find out. Go to the visitor center, get some maps, and just figure out what to do. Some of the parks have, it's a little bit of a pain in the rear end. They have shuttle service, so you can't just drive to something and do it. You got to get on shuttles, and that's a very time-consuming thing, So we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about being in crowded places like that, so we'll see. But then after the Grand Canyon, I don't have plans after that. I'm going to hit south. I'll hit Yellowstone, Bryce Canyon, Zion. Supposedly, I think Grand Canyon is a national park, but I don't know if it is or not. But anyway, that might be one. And then maybe I'll hit Joshua Tree on the way home to San Diego. I might go into Idlewild and hike and camp. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. I may be ready to get home because I've been gone. Today, like I said, is September 9th. I've been gone. When I left to do the High Sierra Trail, it was, I want to say, July 18th. And now I'm on September 9th. So I would like to, I have leave from my work all the way to the end of September, so I don't want to show up with 1 or 2 days to go before I have to go back to work. So I will go back with some time. I can go hike or camp in my area. It depends how hot it is. I heard it's been hot. But we have the beach right in San Diego, so maybe I'll go hang out at the beach, work on my tan, but we'll see. Anyway, that's it. Sorry to ramble so much, but I thought I'd fill you in. So the next week and a half is going to be this big adventure, getting home and seeing all the stuff. So I'm excited to get Idaho off my states list because I want to see every state in the United States. I'll get Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming off my list. I've been to Utah and Colorado on those, but yeah, there'll be 3 more off the list, and I'll get to see them. All right, guys, I made it to Swan Creek Campground. It is just before 4. I lost an hour. It's 3 o'clock by regular time, but it's 4 here. Let me show you around the campground. I just literally pulled up, and I'll show you my name. It's right here, just for one night. And I think I'm going to sleep in my car tonight because it's really windy, but it's warm. It's 82 degrees and warm. And so here's my site. You got a table. So you got a table. I'm going to have a fire here in a little bit. Right there, of course. I was looking to see if it was hiding in the bushes here, but I don't see it. And then what's kind of cool here, I have the sound of the river. It's right here. Check it out. I haven't even been over here yet. There you go. Nice river. It looks like a camp spot here if you wanted to do a tent. Pretty nice. Anyway, it's really nice here. Besides a little bit of a wind, which usually calms down in the evenings, it's nice and warm. It looks kind of overcast because there's so much smoke. It's just a crazy amount of smoke. Bathroom right there, which is nice, and garbage. Well, good morning. It is September 10th, and I left my campsite about 6:30 this morning. It was cold. It was 38, but it actually got down to 30 at some point through the mountains. But I'm not sure if this is a good decision, but I'm going into Yellowstone just briefly. I want to go to the visitor center, get a pin for my my vest that I wear at REI, and I want to just check it out. It's Old Faithful right there, so we'll see how it goes. Man, is it crowded. It's a Tuesday. I said yesterday's video that hopefully it won't be very crowded because it's, September and it's a Tuesday. Kids are back in school, things like that, but it's crowded. And right now we're going about 1 mile an hour. I don't know if there's animals on the road, but yeah, I'm still about 15 to 20 miles away from the visitor center. I'm in the park, but I don't know what's going on. We're moving super slowly, but there are a lot of signs warning about, you know, there's people that get out of their cars and want to get near the animals, and they get gored by buffalo and stuff like that. So they're telling you with all these signs not to get out of the car, which is common sense, but a lot of people are lacking that. But anyway, I don't know if it's animals on the road. I can't see, but we're going super slow. So hopefully we get past whatever it is and I can get to the visitor center. I've still got about 6.5 hours of driving once I leave this place. So I want to get back on the road. I've got to go all the way to Provo, Utah to some dispersed camping. So I want to get going. So that's an update. Hey guys, so that was real quick and really cool to see Old Faithful, and I got really lucky. It erupts about every hour and a half. It sometimes can go earlier or later, but it's about every hour and a half. When I got there, it was going to erupt in about 15 minutes, so I bought a pin and looked around, filmed a little bit, just kind of checked out the history of the place, and then went out there, and 5 minutes later erupted and I was out of there. So I'm driving back right now. Super pretty. Hopefully see some more animals. It is smoky, but it's you can see a little further here right now. But the one thing I was surprised with is Old Faithful. I didn't really study or see much about Yellowstone, but you see all the small little geysers and just hot water coming out of the ground all along the park. Like, I always just thought it was Old Faithful and a couple more around it. I thought that's like the whole thing, but like because I went really early, it was very cold. It was in the 30s, like 38 degrees. So that made the steam even more prevalent, and I'm shocked how many places there's pullouts all over the place. I just don't have the time, but there's pullouts all over the place to go check out other. They're not as much geysers that go up like Old Faithful, but they're just going all the time, and there's just tons of steam coming out. So, all right, let's get going. I have to turn left here in a minute, so I got to pay attention to the road. All right, I got here to disperse camping. It is 4:20, and I did great considering I got up early and went to Yellowstone Park, which was a whole thing. But look at this spot I got. I wanted to have a fire tonight. I didn't even know if they had fires here, but I've got my car level because I'm asleep in my car. But look at this view. All dispersed camping. There's signs there saying you have 14 days. And anyway, so I'm going to set up, but I wanted a place to maybe have a fire and set my chair out. And it may look kind of maybe cloudy or cold. It is cloudy, but it's 88 degrees, so it's very nice. So I'm gonna kind of get my chair out and get all settled.